You know, Miss Davison, if you don't stop pacing back and forth like that, I'm going to think you don't have any faith in your lawyer.
Oh, I trust you. I'm just not so sure about Nancy. I mean, this is just what our relationship needed, a battle in court.
No, it's not court, Miss Davison. This is just a hearing. A commissioner will listen to the evidence from both sides and then make a recommendation to a judge.
Was that supposed to put me at ease?
No, that was just for the record. If you want to be put at ease, just remember that I'll be doing the talking. The commissioner might ask you to briefly explain your position.
Yeah. I'll be fine here, Mr. Webster. I'm just a little worried about the consequences.
Well, you mean losing the house?
No, about Nancy. She still doesn't realize that she pushed me into this.
Well, sometimes I think Nancy realizes a whole lot more than she lets on. Well, Nancy, I'm glad you found it to the chambers okay.
It wasn't hard. I just walked up and down the hall listening for grinding axles.
It's like a sauna in here. Well, I'm glad you made it today. Mary Ann, do you have the sketches ready for the cafeteria? Hey, Sleeping Beauty. Oh, great. More trouble with Russ.
Gil, please.
Well, where are the sketches?
You know I don't have them.
I wouldn't have asked if I knew, sister dear. Especially not when you're like this. When can you get them to me?
I don't know. Maybe I should just skip it and go on to something else.
Well, you've already skipped over the lobby and then the back entrances. You're running out of rooms.
Gil, look, I worked long hours for you in that Canterbury. I did some of my best work.
I'm not arguing with the quality. It's just that the permits finally came in. I'd like to get a move on this thing.
Yeah, well, I'd like to get a move on it, too. Maybe if I ate, drank, and slept Prescott Development, I could get a move on it. But I do have a life outside of this building.
Listen, Mary Ann, I'm not fishing for an argument or anything, but you've been bringing this outside life into this building an awful lot lately. Now, what is it?
Russ and I broke up.
Good. Oh, that's great. Good.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of compassion and understanding that I expected from you.
It is compassion. That's exactly what it is, Mary Ann. Hey, he's not going to be able to drag you through the mud anymore. Hey, that was a good decision.
How do you know it was my decision?
Because if it was Russ, he would be stringing you along as long as you'd let him. No, good girl.
Leave me alone, Gil. Have you ever loved anyone?
Oh, come on.
Have you ever had to turn away from someone when everything inside of you was saying don't?
You know, my life hasn't been that easy either.
I love Russ, Gil. He may not be in my life anymore, but he's still inside of me. Sometimes I think that you've never even felt anything like that for someone.
You know, Nancy, it's not too late.
For what?
Out-of-court settlement.
Running scared?
Nancy, I'm offering a friendly settlement only because of a rare and very narrow vein of mercy running through my heart.
Stuff it, Webster.
You know, sometimes I think you just do it for the attention. Like when you held out, when the first time you were evicted from your house, and that Brubaker and that old Uncle Wiggly lawyer had to throw you out forcibly.
That's called standing on principle. But seeing as that's a new field for you, I won't bore you with the details. Hiding behind your lawyer?
No, not at all. In fact, Mr. Webster, I really don't think there's a need to discuss anything with Nancy now.
She means stop being so obnoxious. That's the first rule of Terry Davidson. She never says what she means.
Well, you won't have to worry about my client doing any talking here. I'll be doing most of that. And you certainly don't have to worry about me covering up the facts.
Well, that's the second law of Terry Davidson. Always get someone else to do your dirty work.
Well, not that you're not completely adept at that yourself, Nancy, but who's going to do your dirty work? You got counsel?
I don't need anyone. I have this.
Money for a bribe.
No, I have these. This is all the facts, the whole history of my relationship with Terry and everything she's ever done to me.
If you wrote down everything you'd ever done to her, it'd be a novel. Let me take a look at those.
Not on your life. Terry knows the facts, and it's all going to come out in front of a judge.
It's not a judge, Nancy. It's a commissioner. And I wouldn't suggest letting it all come out. Judge Hollenbeck's a very busy man. Doesn't have time to listen to sob stories. There I go again, trying to help you.
Well, some of these stories are ones that Terry's never heard before.
You talking about something you're going to make up? I expected that from the start.
I don't have to make anything up. These are stories that you star in. Harry.
What in the world is that supposed to mean?
Well, I just thought that the court might like to know that the plaintiff's attorney has more than professional reasons for wanting to win this case.
Nancy, that's a bald-faced lie, and you know it.
What? That you asked me out? That you made advances and I refused?
Mr. Webster,
Oh, Ms. Davidson, I doubt that the commissioner will pay any heed to that.
is it true?
There were a couple of times I showed a marginal interest in Nancy. Times of grave weakness. But I promise you, and I'll be willing to take an oath, that I am not the least bit interested in Nancy Lawson, and I'm no more her jilted lover than Charles Carpenter is. What are you grinning at?
I'm just remembering some of those nice dinners we used to have at the Greenbrier, and all those sweet things you used to say to me.
What are you trying to say? That I lived my whole life in some neat, painless world?
No, I'm trying to say I don't think that...
That what? Well, say it.
No.
Say it, Marianne.
I don't think that you have the depth to realize what I'm going through. I sit there in tears, and what do? You applaud.
Great. No depth, no compassion, no understanding. Kind of makes you wonder who winds me up in the morning, doesn't it?
Gil, listen.
No, you listen to me. You know, the first time you met that guy, I told you he wasn't right for you. And I also told you he was going to hurt you, didn't I? Now, wasn't I right?
You said that about all my boyfriends.
That's right. And every single one of them has hurt you.
Maybe that says something about me.
Yeah. You don't listen to your brother.
Gil, I don't care about making mistakes right now. You're always there to tell me when I'm right and wrong, when I have a problem. Don't you see? I just want you to put your arm around me. I want you to share my loss. I don't need any more I told you so. I get enough of those every time I look in the mirror.
You have no idea how much better I feel now that Blue's out of the way.
Just let the boy rest in peace, all right?
In peace? You know, I'll bet he was still stuttering while they carted him away. But, for the business at hand.
But Miriam?
No, Babs Farley. Now that we got a line on her, it's time we made our move.
I'll take care of Babs, don't worry.
I'm not so sure that I want to give you the job, Lance.
No? Well, who else is there?
Hey, Weaver! It's open. Come on in.
Wait a minute, Ron. I mean, just because this guy got lucky, you're gonna give him the job?
What can I say, Weaver? I'm surprised, but pleased. You just gotta watch out what you say on the phone from now on,
Yeah,
okay?
let's just forget about all that. Here. Oh, that is brilliant. You don't want it?
Want what? You know, you're very honest with other people's property. You keep it. As far as I'm concerned, that's one gift you didn't get from me, right?
How'd you find Blue, pal?
You're my connections.
I asked you a question, preppy. Now, if you know about an informer that me and Ron don't know about, I want to know. Now.
Every man is entitled to his secrets. And I don't want you calling me preppy or college boy or whatever that other one
Pre-med.
was. Pre-med, that's the one. Can it, Lance? You got it?
I agree with Weaver, Lance.
What are you talking about, man? Don't you want to know how you found Blue?
I don't ask you how you find the girls or what you do with your free time.
This is business, man!
It's old business. So now if you'd please leave, Weaver and I would like to discuss some new business.
May I ask, what's wrong with Mary Ann?
No. Gosh, what does she want from me? What am I supposed to do? Supposed to be her shoulder to cry on all the time?
What happened?
Oh, don't ask. It's kind of personal. All because of you-know-who, too.
Russ Weaver, right? They still on?
No, she broke it off with him. But don't congratulate her or she'll tear your head off. Well, oh, did you get that message?
Of course, that's why I'm here. What's up?
It's about the Canterbury. Take a look at these. No. Before I frame them.
No. Vicky Lang. I didn't think she'd ever come through with these permits.
Yeah. I tell you, it surprised me, and I don't want to talk about her. Oh. Another thing, I've chosen you as my right-hand man for the project.
The Canterbury?
Yeah. But I still want you to stay on top of all the paperwork. I just want you to pay special attention to this guy, okay?
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, what did I do to deserve that?
Good work.
No.
I'm serious. You see, I hired you at the beginning. I was just doing you a favor, Peter. You've been doing a great job. So, to be honest with you,
Oh, yeah, here it comes, yeah.
you listen to me. I need somebody around me all the time to talk to. You understand?
Yeah. So you have an audience for your first success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll learn all along the way, too.
Gil, I won't let you down.
Thanks.
Well, how are you, Harold?
Fine, Commissioner. It's good to see you. And this is my client, Terry Davidson.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Nancy Lawson. That's a lovely tie.
Well, thank you. My wife picked it out for me.
Well, she's got good taste all around.
She left me 3 months ago. All right, I am here to listen to and consider the evidence concerning the proposed sale of the home jointly owned by Terry Davidson and Nancy Lawson, located at 58 Darwood Avenue in the township of Kingsley. Would the court reporter rise? Do you on oath swear and affirm that you will truly and accurately take all of these transcriptions in these proceedings before the court?
I do.
Will the parties be sworn in? Do both parties swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to present will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
May be seated. Is there a motion to separate?
No, it's been Terry's decision to separate. After long and repeated attempts to purchase her half of the house on my part, she has continued to deny me the privilege of going into my own mother's house
Nancy,
and
sit
getting...
down.
Miss Lawson, the motion to separate refers to the separation of concerned parties during testimony. And do you mind if we hear the evidence together?
Oh, no.
Mrs. Davidson,
No, sir.
there has been no motion to separate. Mr. Webster, you may proceed. Without interruption, let's hope.
Does this mean I'm out of loans for good?
We need someone who can fill in where he's needed, and you've proven you can handle more than one job.
Thought you told him to split.
Yes, Lance. Did I tell you to stand over there in the corner? Oh, he's upset because he lost his buddy. Is that it, Lance? Are you upset?
No, I'm waiting for you to give me my job.
What job was that?
The job you're gonna give Weaver. Or have you changed your mind?
Ah, now what's all this about?
Nothing. Go ahead, Lance. You can go. You got the address. You know where she is. Do your best.
Who?
That's not for you to know. Oh, and Lance, if you blow it, don't worry about it. I've got Weaver waiting on deck.
How to win friends and influence people.
Well, the latter's very important to me. I'm not worried about winning friends. So what can I get you, Weaver?
Nothing I don't drink, you know that.
Ah, yes, that's right. Let's see. What other nasty habits don't you have?
Well, for someone who just a few minutes ago said you don't like to know about your employee's personal life, you're awful curious.
Well, I was talking about Lance. But what can you say about a guy whose prized possession is a collection of Super 8 movies? And I don't mean the wife and kids at Disney World.
Right.
Tell me, did you enjoy it, Weaver?
Enjoy what?
Killing Blue.
What's it to you?
More than you think. Did you enjoy Killing Blue?
No, as a matter of fact. And if you want to know the truth, made me sick.
Well, don't worry about it. You'll get over it. It's your first time. First time's always the hardest. But you're on the way to the top, Weaver.
Well, I'm not too sure that the top is where I want to be.
You really think you have a choice anymore? Huh?
So, when both wills were considered, it became obvious that the property was owned jointly by both my client and Nancy Lawson.
Well, that's hardly common. Thank you, Mr. Webster. Mrs. Davidson, could you tell me why you filed a complaint against your sister?
Yes, sir. Nancy and I haven't been able to come to terms about the sale of the house.
Financial terms?
No. I am willing to put the house on the market for its appraised value, with a margin of more or less than $10,000 of that value.
Do you have a buyer in mind?
Yes, a friend of the family.
All right. May I see an appraisal of that property?
Yes, sir. I have it right here.
I assume that there are no liens against the property, such as tax or mortgage?
No, sir, none at all.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Lawson, you're not represented by counsel?
No, Judge. I think the facts will speak for themselves.
Starting with the fact that I'm no judge and I'm not to be addressed that way, you may proceed.
Mine has been a very difficult life. It's no secret to Terry that she was Mother's favorite. I was left out of Mother's will completely, in spite of my part to reconcile that mother-daughter relationship and be that
Commissioner,
daughter
what does all of this have to do with the case?
Very little, I'm afraid. Miss Lawson, this is a legal issue. We're not here to examine anyone's private history. Now, as I understand it, you are currently taking up residence in the house in question.
That's right, but I don't want to sell it. It's my house and it's got cherished memories, but you don't want to hear about that.
Well, it would seem the obvious course of action to buy your sister's half of the house from her.
Exactly, but she won't sell it to me.
Mrs. Davidson.
Sir, I would gladly sell my portion of the house to Nancy, but I'm afraid she just doesn't have the money, even on the most charitable of terms.
Are you currently employed, Miss Lawson?
Yes, of course I am.
Part-time employment, Commissioner.
Full-time. I work at least 42 hours a week.
That's recorded as overtime, Commissioner. She's salaried at part-time wages.
Well, look, I thought my personal business didn't have anything to do with this.
Your financial situation does.
And it is incumbent upon us,
Wait,
therefore,
no,
to...
it's not!
Look, Harold, I don't want any more squabbling. I mean, is this really pertinent?
Well, yes, Commissioner, I believe it is. You see, Miss Lawson here is facing an outstanding debt in the neighborhood of $20,000, which is owed to Kingsley General Hospital for treatment of a supposed accident that happened to her.
I was paralyzed from the waist down.
That, sir, is a debatable point.
How so?
Well, it is the opinion of the legal and medical community here in Kingsley that Miss Lawson's accident was a fraud perpetrated by her in order to gain the affections and money of her then-current boyfriend. I have statements here from doctors.
Well, I'd like to see those.
Sir. Is that? And also private investigators?
I'd like to see those too.
That fall was serious. I have the bruises to prove it.
Those I don't need to see. Miss Lawson, I'm not here to pass judgment on your injury. The fact is, you face quite a sizable debt.
Well, I can pay it back if Terry will let me.
All right. All right, thank you both. I'll file my report with the court clerk, and it will be reviewed by a judge for final disposition.
Well, wait a minute. Is that it?
I think I've seen enough.
Oh, wait a minute. That man has tried to pick me up in bars and restaurants all over Kingsley.
Are you saying that's a punishable offense?
What I'm saying is there's more than statements and appraisals here. You can't just go off and condemn me.
Miss Lawson, you don't know what I'm going to recommend.
Commissioner, I know it isn't usual in these cases, but if you could tell us what your decision is right now, I know that my client would certainly appreciate it.
Well, it can be done. Do both parties agree to hearing my decision at this point?
I've got choice. I got other choices. I have to work my way to the top of this business. I got better things in mind, better goals.
Come on, Weaver. You just killed a man.
Nobody knows. I didn't leave any clues behind. You just said so yourself.
I used to work for this guy named Lou Thurman in Malibu. He used to rob condos for a living. He used to rob their places barefoot so that he wouldn't leave any tracks. They got him on footprints in the mud because he had a cavous right foot. And they convicted him on testimony and lab pictures from a podiatrist.
And what's the moral of that story?
You never know how they're going to get you, Weaver. But they will. You think I live in this place thinking I'm going to be around here forever? It's my job to hold them off as long as possible. But they're going to get me too. And you. So now you've got to set your sights to be at the top of this organization. Follow in Vince's footsteps. But wear shoes. But don't you get it, Weaver? You got to wear shoes.